American Dylan Ragusin, kind of the staple of the team coming in. Dylan is always known to put on fireworks, so this should be an exciting match against Boris Witmer, who's a senior from Columbia.
Yeah, Ragusin ranked 4th in the country at this point in the season. Like you mentioned, coming off an All-American finish last year in Kansas City, and I talked to him a little bit at the MSU Open, and just talking about the confidence that being on that podium kind of instills in him, and coming into this season. And he's excited. He's excited to let it fly. He's ever since he put on the maize and blue, always been somebody that brings fireworks with him when he gets on the mat.
Yeah, Dylan is he really is one of the hardest working guys in the room. I've seen him, year after year, just put in the work and do all the right things. And so to see him, finally get to that 5th place finish last year at the NCAA tournament was, it was a long time coming. And I think that finish hopefully will propel him to want to go win a national title. I think last year even he was very well, setting the goal of becoming a national champ. But to get on that podium and just get the stress of becoming an All-American out of the way, I think Dylan's going to be really exciting to watch this year. Just, a lot of pressure off of him and really able to try to elevate and go for it all.
Oh, 100%. When you talk a little bit about pressure, he started the year redshirting last year and was undefeated until he got pulled out of his red shirt. And I'm sure that kind of left some of the pressure off too. Ragusin from Elk Grove Village, Illinois.
Yep, he is a staple of not only the Michigan wrestling program, but also the Izzy-style wrestling program out in Illinois.
100%.
We have quite the pipeline here, and great takedown from Ragusin, but quite the pipeline of Izzy guys here at Michigan. And, between Will DeWan and Dylan Ragusin of this era, they are two of the, quintessential Izzy guys, I would say. And you'll usually see, that for those of you who don't know, Izzy is one of the, great coaches of high school wrestling and produces some champions. So it's great to see, him at these dual meets, but also, producing guys that we get to root on in the maize and blue.
100%. Back to our feet here as Witmer gets an escape.
And I liked how Dylan finished that. That takedown right there. He does a really good job of securing takedowns quickly and not allowing a lot of room for scrambling. And I think that
once again down on those legs.
And as I say that, that kind of low double shot, head in the knee. I think it's becoming a really popular shot in college wrestling because you just don't see as much defense for it. If you can get your head and run the corner the right way and get that shot off clean, it's an easy finish, and it doesn't burn a lot of energy, it doesn't burn a lot of clock, and so.
Well, guys are so good at scrambling now. You see guys all the time doing kind of roll throughs and try and grab other legs and work for a stalemate even in some circumstances. But yeah, that shot really eliminates a lot of those extra scrambles. One thing about Ragusin too that's really impressive is he's got such an arsenal. He can go upper body. He can attack low to the ankles. He's got your more traditional underhook to a single leg. How much does that help just being that dangerous in so many different positions?
Oh, I think it's almost a requirement of being a high level wrestler, and nice reversal there from Witmer.
That was impressive. Yeah, Ragusin got a little out of position on top there and ended up giving up the reversal.
Yeah, right at the buzzer too. So if you're Witmer, you got to be happy about that ending, end of the first period finish. But a little bit back to what I was saying. I think wrestling has become so dynamic that you really can't be a one-trick pony at this point, at this level, especially if you're looking to be an All-American or a national champion. You have to have multiple different tools in your arsenal to be able to go out there and if you're a great single leg, if you have a great single leg, you might have to develop a low single or a high crotch, right, or even become a great hand fighter to kind of be able to mask A great high crotch, speaking of, right there from Ragusin.
Well, and you were talking about great hand fighting. That's kind of how we got in there. He just got physical, went in, and was able to get that attack off. But again, he's finishing these shots quickly.
Yeah, I always love to say, you know, whenever I'm working with high school or youth wrestlers, that it's really important to spend time on the way you're making contact and your hand fighting tactics, because in high school, a lot of the times, if you get to a certain level where you know you're going to wrestle in college, a lot of the guys you wrestle, you might just be able to go out there and take a shot and take the guy down. But once you get to college, you realize hand fighting becomes a much bigger part of the battle. And so, you know, that takedown was really just a textbook example of, right, he got to a hard collar, got to what we call his heavy set. He knows that's where he can go get one, get to an attack, and just setup becomes basically muscle memory. And that's what it takes at this level, I think. It's really important to hammer that in.
Looks like Dylan was called for locked hands at some point.
Yeah, so we have a close duel. We have a close match here, although,
yeah,
you know, Ragusin's kind of been in the driver's seat, 9-6 currently.
Tough sequences on top for him, giving up that reversal at the end of the period, and then a locked hands and the escape there. But he still has the only takedowns of the match. So despite the closeness in the score, he's been pretty well in control. But anything can happen. This is D1 wrestling.
Yeah, I think if you're Witmer, you're looking to slow this match down and really try to go get one in the third period. If you're Ragusin, you're thinking, forget about those two little mishaps and really try to blow this match open going into this third period.
Yeah, he's got to be pretty motivated here to go out here and put up a couple takedowns and blow this one wide open.
Yeah, and takedown and escape, and you're back in major position. So.
Witmer putting on a good ride though right now.
Yeah. The first move, you know, Dylan did a good job with his first move, but there was just a nice counter there by Witmer. He's kind of riding that near wrist. A great position, like I said, if you want to eat up clock and slow the match down.
Well, and if you're Ragusin too, I mean, yeah, you want to get that major. You want to, you know, secure your riding time or keep that intact. And here he goes.
Yep.
Gets his leg up, gets the reversal of his own, keeps his riding time intact, and now he can go to work on top if he wants, or cut and go for the major. Which is exactly what he does.
And so now Ragusin in a position to get a major decision here, but Witmer kind of in a position that's keeping him in this match.
Ooh, nice slide by.
And that's what you're talking about, Kevin, when you said he's got a deep arsenal. I mean, he can shoot every which angle, and then he can also kind of transition to some upper body takedowns, some slick, nasty slide by, and he goes for it again right there. And so he chooses to go back up to the feet to secure the major. He could have secured it with a ride out, but he kind of wanted to, put an emphasis, kind of a stamp on it.
Yep.
19 seconds left. Let's see if he can get it here.
I assume you'd want to go to your #1 attack here, but. Yeah, there's the stall call.
So that's his first stall call, I think. So Dylan will have to.
I pushed him right out of bounds. There's the second one.
So Ragusin kind of gets the major in a very unique way, back-to-back stall calls.
Well, and that's one of the emphasis that they've put on the last couple of years. You know, he had already backed up to the edge, which got the first stall call put on him. And then, you know, when you then don't fight harder to get back in the middle. But here's history.